Its fruits ripen within 2 months of the first flowering. In an orchard, the cashew nuts may go almost unnoticed. They cling precariously to the cashew apples, which spot colors ranging from yellow to deep red. When mature, the fruits are gathered by experienced hands. The nuts are gently plucked from cashew apples. Then, they are dried to get the best results. The Indian cashew industry has emerged as the leader in the world, employing a wide variety of techniques and equipment for processing. To extract the kernel from the hard shell, the nuts are softened with steam under pressure. And now comes into play the skill developed by Indian cashew workers over the years. The steamed nuts are shelled using semi-automatic cutting machines, but the trick lies in extracting the kernel wholes. Once the kernels are retrieved, they appear pinkish and curly. They are put through a hot air chamber, which helps restrict moisture, so that they can be peeled carefully to avoid breakage. Once peeled, the cashew kernels are ready to be graded into white wholes, scorched wholes, desert wholes, white pieces, scorched pieces.
So I've got a question, Harley. What's your thoughts about cashews? I noticed in a dinner you had in Chiang Mai recently on one of your videos at a vegan cafe, it had a couple of cashews on the dish. Also, what do you think about using fully raw cashews? Can you actually get raw cashews? Are they all cooked? Thanks. What's the deal with cashews? I used to eat a lot of cashews, a bit of cashew gourmet. Now I eat maybe a couple of handfuls a year, and only if it's on a salad or in a vegan Thai cuisine when I'm in Thailand or whatever. I'm not a fan of actually buying and eating cashews myself. I find it a little bit hard to digest. If you have a couple of handfuls a year, not a problem. Are cashews raw? Really, really raw, fully raw, 100% raw? What's the deal? Well, if we look at the cashew nut, it's got a fucking poison in it. It's urushiol acid, which will burn your lips. Freely bit into a cashew once, and her whole side of her face looked like she'd eaten a football. I wish we had a photo of that still. Maybe we'll find one of those. Football face freely. She ate a raw cashew. Full on reaction. You have to cook the cashew. In the raw food world, there is a gimmick going on, a bit of a scam, a bit of a fad. Really raw, fully raw cashews or whatever. Now, there's no such thing as a raw cashew. People say, no, Harley, you're wrong. If you use a special stainless steel knife, it gets rid of the... Like, how the fuck does that happen? Why is the cashew industry spending millions of dollars a year of steaming and boiling and dry roasting and doing all this stuff to get rid of this toxic acid on their end product, when all they need to do is go to Indonesia and buy a 50-cent knife and cut it like that? You know what I mean? But people in the raw food world are so... they're so trusting or naive or gullible or whatever word you want to use it. No judgment, no. They don't really question too much. They just sort of trust a lot, which is cool, but it opens you up to getting preyed upon. Now, so I'm not saying, someone using the fully raw recipe, Christina using fully raw nuts. She doesn't sell them. She's not trying to make money on you. But by keeping this image that you're eating all raw when you're eating cooked nuts, it's a bit of a fallacy. So I think Christina's got a great message. Don't get me wrong here. What my gripe is the people selling these really fully raw cashews and saying, oh, there's no such thing as a cooked cashew, raw cashew. Show us the video. Show us how it actually goes from farm, from fruit, the cashew grows in the bottom of fruit, to the end product. You can't do it. I saw a video on someone's website recently. They go, we use a special stainless steel knife. And that's the same fucking knife they're using in Nigeria or Vietnam. On the cooked cashews, man, you have to get the nut and you have to cook it, steam it to get all the acid off of it. Otherwise, you will have people suing you because they'll be having massive reactions to this acid on the nut. So 100% of cashews on the market, raw cashews, are cooked. You have to steam the shell to break apart. Google it up, look it up. Visit a cashew farm. I've talked with some big cashew dealers in Bangkok. And I'm like, can you actually get this nut like an almond off the tree? They're like, no way. Impossible. Cannot do it. Madai. Can't do it, man. So it's just a bit of a nut job scam going on with the people selling you raw cashews or whatever. So that's why I always laugh because I'm 100% raw, doing right and freely. They're like, no, like I'm pure. No, you're not fully raw because nuts are fucking cooked and you use them in your own recipes, which is fine. But don't lie to people or pretend it doesn't exist. All your nut butters you eat are cooked. Your cashews, cooked. Which is fine. I don't think it makes a bad person or whatever. But don't be under the illusion that you eat 100% raw for XYZ years or whatever, but you're eating cooked foods. That's my little gripe with the cashew industry. Watch some videos on YouTube. There's plenty out there, cashew harvesting, how it's done. Even go to Indonesia next time and check out these raw cashew farms, man. It's the same deal. It's a big scam. I would like someone to prove me otherwise, but they won't. They can't because that's how the bottom line is that compound, the urushiol acid in the cashew. If you could breathe that out, then yeah, you could do it raw. But the notion that they're getting rid of that acid just by chopping it with a special stainless steel knife. Actually, it's the same one they use in Nigeria and Vietnam when they're spending millions of dollars trying to get rid of this acid. And you're trying to tell me, we just come in with a 50-cent knife and chop it. And use a little hook and just put... But that's the raw food world we live in. People are very gullible, naive and trusting, easily marketed, easily pull the wool over your eyes. That's my little rant in the cashew. 100% cooked, steamed, boiled. So the raw cashew is a marketing term that's used for something that's not roasted, but it's been boiled and steamed. Bottom line, 100% of cashews, 100% cooked.